underway. Big swing and delivering right away for the Gamecocks. They get the first point of this contest.
Fred, a lot of times you want to go to your middle attack just to hold the middle blocker, but when you have a Whitesides out of that middle back attack, you go ahead and test that court.
Whitesides, she's a grad student. She's from the Greenville area, Malden High School. Big swing for the Tigers. That was Yoki, the freshman, but back-to-back points to get things started for South Carolina.
You have Smith taking that rip on the right side. That's a good set delivery. You're going to see this early with South Carolina, spreading the offense to keep Clemson's block guessing.
That was Tyra Smith, the sophomore out of Charleston, getting the second South Carolina point. Great save on the back line by South Carolina by Whitesides. They set up for the swing, and it's a point for Clemson, the first point of the night for Nea Maria Yoki. There is the coach of the Gamecocks, Tom Mendoza, 7th season for him. He took South Carolina to the NCAA tournament in his first 2 seasons in Columbia. He has also led other schools, including High Point, to the NCAA tournament. 2-1 opening set. Beautiful set and a big swing, but that one goes wide. The swing misses by Johnson, and we're tied at 2.
You see this, Fred. You saw the middle back attack, then going to your right side, now going to the outside. You're seeing setter Jordan just really tried to spread this offense.
Gonna correct myself, that ball was actually ruled in, so it's now 3-1, so Johnson gets the kill, and she puts the ball back in play. There's a block right up front, but the point goes to the Tigers. Block attempt.
Yesterday, you saw the setter middle connection with Hansen improve throughout the match. Armbruster knows to beat a strong blocking team like South Carolina, you've got to establish the middle, take the risk.
Good look there at Elizabeth McElveen, a sophomore out of Rock Hill. Or correction, that's Kate Hansen for Clemson. And just a little bit of finesse there to get the point by Smith. Smith gets her second kill, and it's 4-2 Gamecocks.
You see, going for the tip shot. So either way, 14 in orange on your screen is Clemson's setter, Armbruster. She's got to make a defensive move anyways, so it's a good tip shot, and then if she played defense, you're taking the setter out of the offense.
Gamecocks put it into play. Cranford on the serve. First swing by McGrath, and that's going to deliver a point for the Tigers. They get back within 1.
McGrath going to the back row right now. You're seeing Wagner come to the front row. McGrath doing an excellent job. One block, has great vision. One of the best things I've seen is her ability to work the hands of a block.
You had a quick look at Kennedy Wagner, who has not played a lot so far, but she had a big match last night as the service error will give the serve back to South Carolina and the point. But there's a look at Wagner. She had 9 kills and 8 digs and a block in that victory, and really how to get things going in that 4th set last night.
Exactly, Fred. She was the reason for the comeback. Clemson was trying to find offense, some sort of stability on the outside. Wagner really stepped up for them.
Elizabeth McElveen puts it into play. Good job by Devin Taylor. The swing by Wagner goes long, and it's a point to South Carolina.
You see Wagner trying to go off the hands of Jordan, the setter in the front row for South Carolina. The idea was right. She got the jump and height, just missed it by a few inches long.
Gamecocks hit .507 against East Carolina on Tuesday night. That was against what was the #1 opponent hitting percentage allowed team in the country. And they're off to another good start tonight. And that one is going to go long, and again, another good swing by the Gamecocks, and they're off to this early lead here. That point was delivered by Ellie Ruprecht. That's the first time we've talked about the grad student from Beverly Hills, Michigan.
Okay, Michigander in the house. That's a fellow Michigander myself. That slide attack, you have 4 hitters with a kill already in this match. Setter Sarah Jordan doing an excellent job for the offense. Service
error by the Gamecocks. That was McElveen who put it in the net. That makes it 7-4. Now each team has made one service mistake. So here comes Clemson with Kate Hansen putting in play. McGrath from the middle, but it goes out of bounds, and it's 8-4 South Carolina.
It looked like McGrath was thinking about taking it right, but wanted to avoid the libero Harris, and then the last second took that ball to her crossbody.
Here's Whiteside serving. Great job by McGrath on the back line to keep the point going. Armbruster setting up, but the Gamecocks are there. Best rally of the match so far. Somehow Clemson kept that alive by McGrath. Somebody's going to earn this one. And finally, the point will go to South Carolina. Kennedy Wagner tried to come in and get it to stay alive, but that was 1 point. It felt like 3.
It really did. Long rally, little miscommunication on that second ball contact once the setter played the defensive ball.
Gamecocks rolling 9-4 here in the opening set.
Nice.
Yep. Taylor will knock it over. Gamecocks with the set. Both teams with a lot of energy. Big swing by Wagner, but the Gamecocks again do a good job.
Wow.
Another really long rally. Way back at the back line, and the point finally goes to Clemson off the swing by Indigo Young. In the last 2 rallies, we've seen 2 balls that in the old Jervy would have bounced off the ceiling. It's, of course, 15 feet higher now. It's a whole different style of volleyball that you get to see here at Clemson. So it's now 9-5 South Carolina. There's Audrey Armbruster. She had 32 assists last night in that reverse sweep. Clemson getting a rally going here. That's Nia Maria Joki, a freshman from Finland.
Watch the block set up. You had Young on the close. Joki reading that perfectly for the stuff.
Joki, the ACC Freshman of the Week this week. The set for Wagner. Great dig, though, by Harris for South Carolina. Wagner's effort is a kill for the Tigers, and suddenly Clemson is pulling back in this one. They're only down 2.
Great push through dig. You thought with that transition play, pick up dig by Harris, it would be enough, but it was the finish by Wagner on the outside. That's the offense Clemson's been looking for.
2 kills now for Wagner here in the opening set. That dig by Devin Taylor was almost out of self-defense. Another great dig by Taylor. And a big swing and another point. Once again, it's Joki, and the Tigers are back within 1.
Such strong libero work in this gym today. You have Harris for South Carolina balling. Devin Taylor picking up some hard shots, protecting that left back.
Clemson on a now 4-0 run to draw back within 9-8. And a tough time to have that service error. Second of the set, and that's going to hand the edge back to South Carolina. It stops that run, 10-8 USC. Just a good look at Victoria Harris, freshman from Columbia. She had a couple of aces at East Carolina the other night, so watch her.
Nice heads up.
That was a tough one right there as Clemson tried to keep that one alive, and it floated over the net, and the Gamecocks put it away. That's Elena Johnson again.
Looked like a lower body injury by setter Jordan in mid-rally, and it was good heads-up play. Victoria Harris, a libero, identified her setter was out, stepped in to deliver a bump set.
Yeah, you can see Sarah Jordan is walking. She's talking to her coach, Tom Mendoza. An interesting opening few minutes here. South Carolina up on the Tigers, 11-8.
For the second time in the last 3 years, Clemson men's soccer is once again national champs.
If Clemson's a stock, you better buy.
There's a big swing and a point for Indigo Young.
Good transition, middle attack. You see South Carolina just transitioning with Floyd in that setter role because of that injury we saw with an ankle.
Yeah, we've got one of the Gamecocks has left. We saw that just before our break. Okay. So just before the break, we saw number 10, Sarah Jordan, go down. She is their veteran setter, and just one of her teammates stepped on her ankle, and so she hobbled off. She is left. They brought in Campbell Paris, a sophomore, as they started to redistribute the lineup a little bit. We'll show you the injury right here. You'll see tight shot of that foot. You can just see, ooh, just bends right there. I think we can all appreciate why she's had to go out of the contest.
And that was mid-rally, and you saw libero Victoria Harris just identify Jordan was down.
Anati stepped on it as a service error by the Gamecocks. It's 2 each for each club, and it's 12-10 here in the first set.
That shakes you a little bit as you go out and transition quick, but Coach Mendoza really does a great job adjusting to what he needs. Shifts to a 5-2, 6-2, whatever it takes.
Devin Taylor served it for Clemson. Armbruster setting up McGrath, and McGrath comes through with the hammer, and it's 12-11.
Let's take a moment, Fred, and appreciate this. You had McGrath showing cross court and then ripping it line. Watch her body, look, facing cross court and then turns it line. Had the whole defense shifted to their left. Beautifully done.
McGrath picking up her second kill of this opening set. 12-11, South Carolina. As we continue this Palmetto series, and I'm telling you, this place right now is jammed. There are so many people standing just in the doorway, just trying to get a glimpse of what's going on here in this beautifully redone new Jervey gym. Look at all the people outside who can't get in. Of course, the game is available on ACC Network Extra and Clemson Video. I'm sure that Easton Smith, our producer, will appreciate the plug. Let's talk a little bit about the series history. This is the 68th meeting overall. South Carolina leads the series. They've been on a run lately, but the last 2 matches here at Jervey Gym went 5 sets. Clemson won that last one a couple of years ago.
Pretty impressive with that last one. It was, I believe it was the first season or second season for Coach Simpson-Cure, really trying to establish culture, so that win was very important for her.
You can see right there in the middle of that huddle, that is Jackie Simpson-Cure. She's in her 4th season here as the head coach of the Tigers. We got a good one underway right now. Right now, the hitting numbers 250 for South Carolina, 217 for Clemson. No aces so far, each team with a couple of service errors. And as we come back on the floor, there is Jackie's resume, as you can check out. Before she was the head coach, she was the associate head coach for 4 seasons, so she has been here getting close to a decade now, which makes me feel older.
Wow.
I can't believe it's been that long already. Devin Taylor with the good serve. South Carolina handles it. There's the swing, and it's going to be a point for South Carolina. That's delivered by Elena Johnson.
And you see right away there was no argument from middle. Kate Hansen on the side of Clemson on that block. She tried to sell it, and then when the touch was called, she looked at her team and said, yeah, I touched it.
Johnson's got 4 kills. He leads both teams, and then a service error right back gets the point back to the Tigers. And it's 13-12.
Getting in your rhythm. There's a lot of missed serves right now. First set for South Carolina, your setter went out. Clemson a little more comfortable here playing the match yesterday in their home court.
Here's the look at the freshman Yoki. Armbruster setting up Yoki. McGrath with a swing, but it's a point for South Carolina.
A huge pickup in middle back by Johnson. I thought the back row attack by Yoki was going to go down. Johnson read it, put her arms out with good shoulder angle just to get it back over onto Clemson's side. That was huge.
Gamecocks jumped off to a big lead in this set. Clemson's done a good job of getting close, and then South Carolina seems to be able to put a couple of points together just to kind of keep them at arm's length.
Coach Mendoza said this is one of the best defensive teams he's had since he's been head coach at South Carolina, putting that complete game together, not just known as a blocking team, but also as a defending team.
Abianati with the serve for South Carolina. McGrath with a little finesse there, and it works. You don't always have to take that big swing to get it done.
On the changeup, you have McGrath putting up 4 kills on 7 swings. Just trying to mix it up, getting that little miscommunication to drop. Is that yours? Is that mine?
McGrath now with 3 kills, and she will serve. There's a big swing that delivers. That is Tyra Smith throwing it down for South Carolina.
Fred,
and it's 15-13.
Good news for Clemson is that she's rotating out, because once Smith gets hot, she can ride a couple points easily in a row, just put it together. She's shifting to the bench for her 3 rotations in the back row. We'll see her shortly.
Tyra Smith has 3 swings so far and 3 kills. And now it's another point for South Carolina. Again, once again, this is what they've done. They put a couple of points together to keep that distance. And a timeout will be taken here by the Tigers as they want to try to slow down that momentum of South Carolina.
What I'm impressed with right now with Clemson is actually their offense. It looks much better than what we saw yesterday. You see the middle risk-taking, outside hitters getting some kills for their team. It's now the passing game. Once South Carolina's making their serve, Clemson's got to go back to sticking that pass so you can run a nice offense.
Now, we talked to Tom Mendoza earlier in the week, and he was almost, I don't want to say he was a little bit jealous of Clemson in that Clemson played last night. His team played Tuesday night and played extremely well against East Carolina. They only gave up 38 points in the entire contest, but he almost was wondering if that was too long of a break to play up here on a Friday night.
Because he just experienced a loss with Wake Forest. Wake Forest played the day before. He was thinking, okay, maybe we'll have more fresh legs, but Wake Forest came out just really confident in their complete game and pulled off a win against South Carolina. So he's like, nothing's given against a cross-state rivalry. We're gonna have to earn everything in Jervey Gym.
And as we said, Jervey Gym is packed right now for this one, and the Gamecocks lead it 16-13. So we'll see what happens coming off that timeout. The only 4 things that are left here from what you may have seen here in previous years are the walls. They raised the roof, they gutted it, the walls stayed up, but I mean, we're just walking in here tonight, it was like walking into a brand new place, and we'll go over that in a lot more detail as we move along. Armbruster with the set, beautifully done. That was Kate Hansen coming in. She's a transfer from Texas Tech.
Where reps are important, getting that setter middle connection. Hansen was going late in the 5th set, really felt smooth with her setter Armbruster. Going to it early in the 1st set, showing that you're not scared.
Man, that swing just went through 3 Gamecock defenders. South Carolina's swing misses. You can see Campbell Paris, she's a 6'5" sophomore from Barrington, Illinois. She came in to the rotation after the injury to Sarah Jordan. Clemson back within a point at 16-15. That's a tough time to have another service error. That was by Hansen. And so that will give the serve and the point over to South Carolina. The Gamecocks go back up by 2.
And you have Whitesides in the back row on your service line right now, one of the strongest servers for the South Carolina team.
And she showed it right there. Just dropped that imperfectly, did Whiteside. And now the Gamecocks suddenly have squeezed out to a 3-point lead. There's a good look at Riley Whitesides. She's now the team leader in aces with that one. That's her 13th of the season. Good job by Harris on the dig. Another really good point. Wagner's swinging, just had a miss hit right there, and that's a tough point to go over to South Carolina because you're getting in that danger zone here because the Gamecocks go up 4 as they get closer to within sight of getting to 25, and another timeout is going to halt things as Clemson wants to slow down this momentum right now that South Carolina's been able to put together.
Somehow with these good passes, I think Taylor just bounced back, stuck a nice one. You got to get some sort of middle speed going. I think South Carolina, you have a 6'5" block on the outside right now. So setting up really strong in front, you got to go risky because South Carolina is looking solid.
Gamecocks have to feel really good because they have been on a real steady diet of home games. They played 7 home games in 11 days. They wrapped up with East Carolina, as we mentioned, on Tuesday. They gave up just 38 total points. That's the best they've done in a game since 2016. So you bring your team on the road if you're Tom Mendoza in this kind of environment. And right now, he's got to love what he's seeing.
And when we talked to him, we asked, well, you booked a lot of, or scheduled a lot of ACC teams. You beat Duke, you beat North Carolina, lost to Wake Forest, and now you're at Clemson. He goes, well, we have to book Clemson each year, you know, the cross-state rivalry, and it just happens to be in the right geography to play top teams in our area.
And that Duke victory, a big one on the road. So yeah, had a chance to prove themselves early as they get ready to go into SEC play. There's a good look at Tom Mendoza. He was a pretty good player himself, an All-American setter back in NAIA days at Newman University and Lewis University. So 19-15, Gamecocks leading Clemson here in the opening set. South Carolina has put the last 3 points on the board to stretch this lead out to 4, and here's Riley Whitesides coming out of the timeout. McGrath from the middle, and it scores for the Tigers. That ends the run, as again, Sydney Floyd's reaction was more self-defense than trying to keep that point going.
You saw in serve receive, they went middle, and this one going middle back. They're trying to stay away from that 6'5" block on the outside. I get it. Nice job out of a timeout to shift your strategy.
Audrey Armbruster putting into play. The Gamecocks will watch that one sail, and it's a point for South Carolina. It's now 20-16.
Whitesides, a grad student playing next to a freshman in the libero Harris position. Harris said that ball was out, yelled it. Right away, Whiteside was like, nice call, trusted her.
Here's a good look at Riley Whitesides. Victoria Harris with the serve for South Carolina. Point for the Tigers. They get it right back. There's Kennedy Wagner coming through. Wagner with her 3rd kill. It was so interesting. We covered, of course, this team for several years now. Wagner came in last year as a freshman, was huge. This year, and this is a good problem to have, it's a real competition to find opportunities to be on the floor. She's made the most of it in the last couple of days. Young with a big swing right there. and Clemson back within 20-18.
And you see that, putting Wagner on the right side before she rotates out, and now you have a middle attack with Young. This is staying away from the outside. We haven't seen out of that timeout. No sets going to the outside. It's been middle and right side of the court.
Young delivering there. She's a transfer from Charleston Southern. Well, there's a kill for the Gamecocks, and that's Johnson again, junior out of Kershaw.
Okay, Elena Johnson showing your power. Great speed set, and then just taking that with authority. That's how you stomp any type of a hope out with a strong attack like that.
Opening set with Kimmy Thompson the serve. South Carolina by 3. South Carolina by 2. McGrath comes through again, kill number 5.
Fred, in this gym right now, you have Jackie Simpson-Keir, a setter. Tom Mendoza, a setter. 2 setter head coaches. Out of this timeout, Simpson-Keir changing the strategy, saying we're attacking the middle of the court and right side. No sets going outside. Great job.
Armbruster gets the dig. McGrath keeps it alive. Somehow Clemson kept that point alive. And then gets the point right back on the block by McGrath.
Yes, on the defense, Devin Taylor working her tail off, and then Luma coming through. Watch the scramble. Devin Taylor lay out. Luma with the left-hand save. Even the cameraman was like, what's going on? Nice block, one-on-one. McGrath, all smiles right now.
You can see McGrath over there as South Carolina takes a timeout to slow things. It is 21-20 Gamecock. We're only in the opening set, and it's just been a highlight fest so far. Elena Johnson's got 5 kills for South Carolina. Mia McGrath has 5 for Clemson.
I think it was smart to play Kennesaw State and schedule that for Simpson-Keir to get the nerves out of your way, to get the feel back in Derby Gym when this is packed. It's a different look than you've experienced in the years before. Clemson looks way better than we saw yesterday. South Carolina with the injury to setter Jordan early on in this set really has shaken the offense a little bit.
Yeah, Jordan had 4 assists before she had to leave. By the way, one other thing about McGrath, I mentioned earlier, double-double last night, which also put her over 500 career kills and 600 career digs. And there's a good look at Elena Johnson. There is McGrath, junior from Deerfield, Illinois. Jackie Simpson-Keir calls her a heartbeat player.
I love that. That was such a compliment. And what you love about McGrath is that her freshman year played a lot. Sophomore year more in that defensive specialist role, back row attacker, and then not so much a lot of playing time in the front row, but spending your spring and grinding out in the weight room, getting extra touches, has really elevated every part of her game to earn that starting 6th rotation role this year.
Again, the opening set here, Clemson and South Carolina. Again, there's a nice little look at the new look Jervy. As you can see, that ceiling's a lot higher than we're used to. Coming here for years, they raised it by 15 feet. There's a look at it. And again, it looks like you've walked into a brand new building, and of course it's a building that's been around for decades.
And I played here back in my playing days in the ACC Volleyball. I played at Georgia Tech. We came here each year to Clemson. There was definitely a disadvantage with the shorter roof, but you'd hope if the girl dug a hard shot, the opposing team, which would be Clemson, dug a hard shot and it came over, I mean, you just light it up with cheering.
Well, it is a great atmosphere tonight. As you can see, we got fans of all kinds, and of course it's also a big weekend for the alumni coming in.
You know, it's a good thing that I could play volleyball, because no chance I would have rhythm for being a mascot. Look at that. Did you see that rhythm?
Tiger knows what he's doing. Yeah.
Like, that's impressive.
Exactly. We got young fans, old fans. Tiger's going to take a break maybe after that dance work. Could be a long night ahead for everybody, because, again, the last 2 matches they have had here at Jervy have gone 5 sets. South Carolina's led throughout this opening set. but they've never been able to pull away from the Tigers, who coming out of the timeout now. It is 21-20 in favor of USC.
This is a really strong blocking situation for South Carolina. Yoki's been the go-to before she goes back to serve for Clemson. Let's see if she gets the ball.
Elena Johnson serving for the Gamecocks. McGrath uses finesse again and gets it just to the back.
Jackie Simpson-Kier, look at this strategy. Say, McGrath, we're going to bring you in the middle. We know you have heat, shifting all the block, finding open court with the tip shot.
22-20. Gamecocks up. Yoki with the serve. Armbruster setting up McGrath, but it's a point for South Carolina. Gamecocks get within 2 of taking this opening set.
You know, I don't blame her. You show Smith on your right side. Huge block, trying to avoid going around, just missing the arms, was looking for it, just taking a little wide.
Anati serving for the Gamecocks. Clemson gets the point back to draw within 2. That's Kate Hansen again. Hansen's had a good opening set. That's her 3rd kill.
You are so right, Brett. The slide attack looking nice. A low pop. You see that set. No spin on that. Clean redirect on that slide attack as well.
3 kills and 3 swings for Hansen. That one kissed the top of the net, stayed in for McGrath, and she gets the ace right there. And Clemson back within a point at 23-22. And another timeout. Wow. This is just a lot of energy.
I'm loving it.
In just this opening set.
And you see Clemson coming out so much stronger than what we saw yesterday. Their nerves are out, feeling confident, feeling comfortable, and staying in the fight. You thought early on, South Carolina looked strong, mixing up the offense. We had everybody on the team had 1 kill or more at a period, but now Clemson's evening out, hitting 244 to South Carolina's 237. So definitely a different team we're seeing today with Clemson here in this first set.
Yeah, those numbers have really shifted from where we were just back when this first set was in the teens right now. 16 kills for Clemson, 10 for South Carolina. Servers errors right now. Clemson has 4, South Carolina has 3, but wow, this has been a lot of fun. And someone's got to win 3 of these. We might be here for some time.
All I know is that when we're done, I'm going to beat everybody in traffic. I'm out. Let's go. Yeah, that's funny. This one's a good one with Coach Mendoza just trying to settle his team down because he knows right now Whitesides is in his front row on the left side. The matchup is with setter Armbruster for Clemson. So you just have to get a pass going, and I'm going low right outside to Armbruster if I get a pass as a setter.
Coming out of the timeout, South Carolina 23, Clemson 22. All here in our opening set. Mia McGrath will serve. See if Mendoza was able to get a point out of that timeout. Yep, because they set it up perfectly for Riley Whitesides, and Whitesides delivers. She's got half a dozen kills now, and it's now set point South Carolina.
That is the pressure Whitesides wants this year as a grad student, saying bring it on. If you need a kill, send the ball my way.
She had 18 kills in that 3-set sweep against East Carolina the other night. Armbruster with the setup. Point Clemson once again. It is Hansen who is really having a big night.
I don't know what happened from 24 hours later, but this slide connection looking so good. A reverse set of trust. Right back, a delivery from Armbruster, right back to Hansen.
It's still another set point for South Carolina. But the Tigers come back, and we are even up, and it's the kill for Kennedy Wagner. Wow.
You're seeing a Clemson team confident, and they know they have a little chip on their shoulder, really wanting to pull off this win today, playing loose, playing free.
Hansen serving. Whiteside's attempt was blocked by the Tigers, or at least kept alive as the point continues. Kennedy finds the spot, back to back, and suddenly it's now set point Clemson. Kennedy Wagner's helped turn this whole thing around.
Nice, impressive change-up play. Finding kills. This is what Kennedy Wagner's so smooth about. Showing hard shot in the last second, dropping in the roll.
Now we're going to have a slow down of the play here because there's a couple of spots that they're cleaning up on the Gamecocks side of the court right now. And the timing of the cleanup is probably pretty good if you're a Gamecock supporter right now, because Clemson's on a run. They've scored 3 straight, and now you're going to have Kate Hansen serving for a chance to win the set. Hansen with the save, but her attempt goes all the way into the Clemson bench. And now we're tied at 25. Big swing by Whitesides.
You see the strategy. Whiteside's going right at left back where Hansen was defending the middle, who had to take the place of libero that was out for a moment.
Wagner at the net, but the point's going to go to South Carolina.
South Carolina just looking for clarification, like we won that point, right? Coming at it, Wagner trying to avoid the antenna, but that ball was heading straight for antenna.
So set point now, Gamecocks. They get a chance to set it up here. Whitesides from the middle, Armbruster dives to keep it alive. Wagner delivers. I mean, she is just electric. We're watching one player absolutely bring an entire gym to life. That's what Kennedy Wagner's done. She's got 6 kills now, and it feels like they've all come within the last 6 points.
Did you see that bump set? Beautifully done by your middle young, and then the inside hard cut shot. Nice job.
Here's Wagner again. She is feeling it. Good job by the Gamecocks to keep it alive as Harris got it back over. Armbruster with the setup, and it's the kill by Yoki. We've gone back and forth. Both teams have had set points so far. It was the edge to South Carolina. Clemson had their chance. South Carolina had the set point. Now here are the Tigers trying to close it out. Big serve coming up here from Armbruster.
Wow.
Johnson delivers when the Gamecocks needed.
You see Johnson on the outside when Whiteside's his middle back. Those are your 2 kill leaders on the team. Mixing it up, who's taking the swings. Both setters looking for either of those attackers.
Elena Johnson now has half a dozen kills. We're tied at 27. Victoria Harris gets it underway for South Carolina. Johnson again. And that one not going to be coming back in for the Tigers. It's a big kill for Elena Johnson, who's once again given South Carolina an opportunity to take the opening set. It's another set point for USC.
Did you see that cover ball by Sydney Floyd, just covering all over the swing of Paris? That kept the rally going, saves a little life for that point for South Carolina.
28-27 Gamecocks. Big swing by Jensen, but she is met at the net. And the point goes back to the Tigers. It's Yoki.
Fred, a one-on-one swing. Normally that's gonna go Johnson's way. Yoki just had the read, jumped back, saw the angle shot, pounced on that block.
What a set. 28 all. Claire Luma serving for the game for Clemson, and that's a tough spot to have a mistake. That's now 5 errors on serve in the set, and it's another set point now for South Carolina.
Fred, I know this is a football weekend and this place is packed, Derby Gym's packed, but a set like this will get all of these Clemson fans back in Derby Gym on a non-football weekend.
Right. You come for the rivalry, but you want to come back after watching this kind of action. Yoki comes through in a big spot. Tied again.
Coach Mendoza's really fighting for a carry call, but I thought that ball was perfectly set. Yoki had the vision around the block. Just, it was in front of her, a little tip shot, short down the line.
Gonna have another quick break here as they wipe up some perspiration on the South Carolina side of the court. Devin Taylor, the senior from Spring, Texas, ready to put it in play. We are tied at 29 in this opening set.
Oh.
No one is home as McGrath puts it across. 30-29 Clemson. Tell me if you've heard this before. Set point Clemson.
In my head, I'm going back and forth. I'm like, oh, Clemson's gonna get this. Oh, that was good cover by Harris. Just Clemson pulling off another set point. What a comeback.
Harris was dove to keep it alive, got the dig, but there was just no one home. Once again, we've got another break in the action. As it stands right now, it's 30-29 Clemson.
Looks like they're using their challenge card. I'm not really sure what is being challenged or if it's an additional pause as a not an inadvertent timeout.
Got the official looking at an iPad right now. You know, we've covered games here for years. And just, again, larger ceiling, they're playing South Carolina, whatever the case is. I've never heard this place like this, ever. It's incredible.
Everybody likes a home reveal. Come into Derby Gym, seeing all the renovations. And then Clemson just keeps loading up new players and then improved players.
And you got seats with seat backs now, which means it's not like the old bleacher days when you could squeeze a lot of people in there. Again, as I mentioned, there are people still standing outside. I guess they're waiting for someone to leave early. Maybe they think that they can get in there. We heard from our friend William Quackenbush drove by. He said there was a line out on the sidewalk of people trying to get in here. There's a look right there. All right. Set point Clemson. Devin Taylor to serve.
Nice.
Whitesides comes through when they need it.
Your team kill leader, Whitesides. They shifted her, not just middle back, but shifted her to the right. The entire defense was shifting with outside. You see open net swing, Whiteside coming up with a point.
She's got 5 kills now. We're tied again. Yoki delivers. It's another set point for Clemson.
Yoki, 5 kills on 11 swings. This is a hot hand, so clear in her strategy and deception going into that moving block as they were jumping into the seam.
Nea Maria Yoki will put it into play. Set point Clemson. Whitesides once again comes through when the Gamecocks need it. She is that good.
She is that good, Fred. Wow, impressive. She gets better year after year. And I can see the sand game elevating her game on the indoor, the shots, the confidence, because in sand volleyball, it's only you and another person. You have to take all of the attacks take the passes.
Yeah, a veteran of the Gamecock beach volleyball team. Here's a look at Riley. You know, we talked a lot about Johnson with her 7 kills, but 5 now for Whiteside. She's hitting .417.
And you see the matchup right now. You have McGrath against setter Floyd. That's where Clemson's going to go.
Whitesides, but Clemson answers. Armbruster goes for the quick kill. We got a whistle, and it's going to be a point awarded South Carolina. And the Gamecocks, once again, have set point.
This year in volleyball, the rule passed that you can double, but only on your side of the court if it doubles and goes over, which that was decent, but it was a pop out of her hand contact that was called.
Anati will serve. Hansen comes through again for Clemson. 32 all.
When you're going against a strong blocking teams, you have to go with speed. Nice job on the reverse set. A block's not able to get set up if you go with a low set. Nice job, Hansen.
She's got 5 kills in 5 attempts. 32 all. But the serve goes long. Although McGrath quickly looks at Jackie Simpson-Keir thinking it went in. Keir's got her green card in her hand.
Did you see Simpson-Keir look at the fans as well? She looked across the board like, what do you think, using all your resources? She's getting her doctorate. She knows how to dig deep into research.
As it stands right now, it's an error that gives the Gamecocks set point, but again, it's our second challenge now here in the last few moments. At the rate we're going, we might have to fight football traffic getting out of here.
I know it, man.
And the game doesn't start until noon tomorrow.
I'll take it, though.
Oh, absolutely.
Watching good volleyball. I live in Atlanta, so it's always traffic.
That's no problem. Let's go ahead and show you kind of a close-up view of it. Going frame by frame.
Ooh, that's close. That's about as close as it comes.
Yeah. Would it be enough to overturn?
You know, on the initial landing of the ball, it didn't look like there was any purple of the court between, but on the rollout, you could see the purple. So this call on that angle could be reversed.
I don't think Jackie Simpson-Keir is hearing what she was hoping to, as she has a long discussion with the official.
Not really sure what's being shown, but angles are everything.
All right, she talks to both coaches, and it is Clemson's challenge is unsuccessful. Now we have to get one of our officials back in position. So once again, it's another set point, South Carolina. Sydney Floyd will serve. Wagner with a big swing.
Wow.
It goes long. And once again, before we can say for sure, Jackie Simpson-Keir goes back to the green card again. South Carolina wins the opening set unless this call is overturned.
That was the right matchup. You see Wagner trying to find that high seam, going over Ruprecht, the middle for South Carolina right now.
Here's another view of it. Let's look for those, see those fingers move at all.
That's hard to tell because the ball and the view of the left hand, it's splitting. Probably the best view would be like the end zone view.
Ellie Ruprecht, number 9. That's everything comes down to her right hand right now. Whether
right.
or not any of those fingers got brushed by that ball. There's another high angle look. Again, look at the right hand of number 9. Actually, maybe more like number 3's left hand. That would be Brooke Doherty. Or did she kind of just split the difference between them?
Well, on the previous angles, we saw that the ball actually cleared the height of number 3, Doherty. So on this angle, it's conclusive that it did not touch the hand of middle blocker Ruprecht. I'm thinking this will stay with South Carolina.
I mean, there are hard-fought sets. There are battles. This has been a war just for the opening set. And as it stands right now, unless this Clemson challenge is successful, South Carolina will take set 1.
You know, Fred, I've been calling matches since 2015, leaving college coaching. This is a record for me. Never. 34-32 in a set? Never.
It's a first for me. Taking a lot of time going over this review. We gave you 3 angles already. But there are the 2 players that are right now involved in this review. That's Kennedy Wagner on your left and Brooke Doherty on the right. And the crowd getting to enjoy a little Neil Diamond right now. There's our well-timed song, by the way, to keep the energy going.
Yes, this is one thing about Clemson volleyball. The DJ brings it, so it's always a party. Every year you come out ready for it.
You know, her other reviews have been relatively quick. This one has, and of course, so much riding on it because this is a set decider. So she's seen it. She's walking down the line to talk to all the game officials. And it is going to be a point for South Carolina, and the opening set goes to the Gamecocks. And that
power game, of course, when you have it in the sand, you can take it, but your jump is reduced, so it's more shot selection. And then we've seen Whitesides rip it too in the sand.
Set number 2 is underway. There's the set for Johnson. Beautiful one-handed save on the back line by the Tigers. And a big kill right there for the Gamecocks, right in the middle of the floor, and that's Abi Anadi.
You see that right away. We talked about it. Only 1 kill apiece. You are going to need your middle attack to win this. That was a good conversation to be had with your setter, Coach Mendoza.
Anadi's hit better than 704 of her last 6, and she's at 1,000 tonight. As the point goes to the Tigers, and we're tied up again, something that we're used to.
Right, we're gonna get a repeat of a set. I mean, I'm here for it.
Devin Taylor will serve for the Tigers. There's a good look at the senior. Leads the team in digs. 26 last night. She had 34 in a match earlier against Wofford. Taylor setting up and getting the kill. Once again, it's the freshman Yoki.
Beautiful low set delivery. Armbruster looking like she was going outside and then reversing that. Barely the height of the antenna, but in an up and down way, gave Yoki a lot of court to look at.
Taylor's serve with Clemson up 2-1. Gamecocks come right back and tie it. Far away on the other side of the court from us, once again, there is Johnson, and give her now 8 kills in the match.
We know South Carolina is a pin attacking team. They have strong middle attack as well. With the new setters, you run that middle to then eventually do what you just did, run your pin.
Big swing, but it's going to go long on the effort there by Whitesides that time, and we are tied. Now it's a 3-2 Clemson lead.
Whiteside went up, changed her hand, made it a little flat. She was expecting orange arms in front of her. Arms weren't there, then that's how you take the ball long.
There's the set for Whitesides, and Whitesides gets the kill that time, and we are tied again.
You know, you put that in your mental bank, like, whoa, the defense sitting that deep on me? Okay, on my next shot, watch me do the same thing. Show hard, drop it in short if I have that much court to look at.
Anadi will serve. Right at the net, Gamecocks put it away very quickly. That's number 9, Ellie Ruprecht, grad student from, again, leads the team in solo blocks coming in, total blocks as well. She had 3 blocks against East Carolina the other night.
And that's a pretty important rotation. You have the middle, Anadi, taking the service rep because setter, libero Harris is out for a moment. These are momentum pushers if you can get points while your libero's out.
There's the setup for McGrath. But the point will go to South Carolina. Although McGrath, once again, experienced player. Talking to Coach Keir.
This is what they're looking for. Did the attack hit the antenna first, or was it off the arms? Right away, Mia McGrath said, Coach, I hit the arms first of Smith, the right side blocker. You're seeing that right arm, and then the ball hit the antenna. This ball is our point.
Looked like it might have just gone off her right elbow. McGrath has no doubt in her mind. And she had that immediately. Again, here's a new angle for you.
It's 100% off the arm. This should be, what happened? What happened?
There was no challenge, and it's a point for South Carolina. It's now 5-3.
There was no challenge? Did I miss all that?
It's a point for South Carolina as the block attempt goes out of bounds. Gamecocks on a pretty good run now, 4-0. Yeah, going back to that, it did look like it did go off the elbow of Tyra Smith.
You'll take it if you're a Gamecocks, because you know Clemson's in the fight through the end, so you have to create the cushion throughout the end of the set.
So look at Anadi, who puts it into play. Gamecocks have scored the last 4 to go up by 3.
Oh, there you go.
Whitesides delivers. 8 kills now. 7-3 South Carolina.
Pure want to by Whitesides on the outside. After that swing, coming down, feeling momentum. She doesn't want to walk out in a long set. She wants to put this thing away.
And remember, South Carolina is playing without Sarah Jordan, who's their leader in assists. She turned her ankle, actually had one of her teammates actually fall on it with her foot. And they've had to operate without her. Point comes right back to the Tigers, though. That ends that run. Kate Hansen coming through. Hansen has had a terrific night.
And you see the slide attack, dropping it short in front of Anadi on the serving middle, playing left back. That was just strategy. Nice drop.
There's a big swing that goes long. You can see the effort by Tyra Smith. So now Clemson draws back within 7-5. McGrath serving again, and it has a tough time for a mistake.
You know, when a hitter attacks the ball and it sails long, they're either doing 2 things. They're looking for hands, or they forgot to give the ball top spin. So you'll see flat hands, and both Clemson, you see McGrath's one of the best working the hands. A flat shot can either hit hands or go long.
7 service errors now for the Tigers to 3 for South Carolina. So USC up +4 in that category. That's a point for Clemson as the effort by Campbell Paris sails past that back line.
And you saw Coach Mendoza going like, you had a cross-court shot, just take it. It was a one-on-one opportunity. The blocker was on the line, and Paris still tried to go for the line shot when the cross-court was open.
So We got another timeout and another review coming, and we're going to take a break. Gamecocks up a set and leading here in the second, 9-5.
Yo, those are nice. Hold on one second.
I guess we're following that play at the net that involved Audrey Armbruster.
And you're allowed to come under the net as long as it doesn't interfere with the play. So was this a South Carolina challenge? I do believe. And you saw Hansen come all the way under on the other side.
So the challenge is awarded to South Carolina. Here's a good look at Tom Mendoza.
Yeah, the interference of play when an attacker and a blocker goes up at the same time in that same zone, coming under will be called.
So as it stands, 9-5 South Carolina. Gamecocks are serving. Sydney Floyd puts it in play. But Wagner comes through again. Kennedy now with her 7th kill.
So much pep in her step. Kennedy Wagner explodes off the ground, sees 2 blocks, take it with power off the arm of the right side blocker.
You know, a year ago, she was at least high for the returning players in points, attacks, and aces, and has worked her way back in the lineup. There's another service error by the Tigers, though, that's going to give a point back to South Carolina. It's 10-6.
That is impressive. Wagner working herself back in. She wasn't a starter in this season, but 11 double-doubles from last season. Nice to see her on the court this year.
Whitesides with the serve that goes out of bounds. It's a point for the Tigers. Gamecocks now have 4 service errors.
What I love, Fred, is the positioning of the bench. It's sort of like a semicircle to cover all the angles.
Yeah.
Coach Mendoza looked on the line of the bench saying, in or out, guys, and they called it out.
Yep. There's a setup and another kill. Again, just a nice job of doing it with the finesse that time by Wagner. Sophomore from Valparaiso, Indiana.
So smooth on the previous attack. Wagner saw the right back defender sitting so deep. She put it in her memory saying, okay, my next shot, I'm gonna drop it short right over the block for an easy kill.
She lifted it over Campbell, Paris, and Ruprecht to get the point to make it 10-8. Wagner again.
Oh.
But that one misses that time, and it's a point for the Gamecocks.
Coach Simpson-Keir did the exact same thing with the Clemson bench, curved around, asking the players, was that in or out, because they had a better view. They said, out, coach.
Good to have all those extra eyes as Victoria Harris makes the serve for USC. And there's a big block right there. Coming through is Campbell Paris.
Take for a moment, Fred, you have a 6'5" right side blocker with Paris. Then you add a 6'3" Anadi to middle blocker to close. That's a wall. It doesn't matter if Yoki's a really strong attacker. That's just a wall in front of you if those 2 blockers get set up.
Timeout's going to be taken by Clemson here. That's going to make it 12-8. We are in our second set. Gamecocks up by 1 and leading in the second by 4.
Number 12, guys, on the outside because of what she can do in the back row, the power and the leadership, just carrying her team on her back, picking up 9 digs, and then, yes, adding a service ace. What a complete gamer rocking a Gamecock uniform.
I mean, she leads the team in kills per set, aces. Steady, experienced player, and right now her team has a lead here in set 2. Gamecocks already up by 1. Clemson just had to do everything to keep that point alive. Big swing there, and it's Campbell Paris coming through. And Paris is beginning to get something going offensively.
Best part of that play was Anadi getting up in the middle. She held the middle young and gave her right side a seam. Great effort in transition.
Paris has a couple of kills. 3-0 run right now for USC. And it's ended by Indigo Young. Middle hitter comes through, and Clemson needed to kind of stop that momentum, and it's a 4-point deficit.
Notice it started with a good pass. Setter Armbruster just staying at the net, giving Young a one-on-one opportunity.
Wagner will serve. They set it up for Johnson, and Johnson comes through. She's got 9 kills now. That leads both teams.
Creating unity. I'm just loving Coach Mendoza shift into that 6-2. So you have Floyd making that last set, and now coming into play is Thompson, just figuring out constantly what his team needs. That's what makes him special, a former setter himself.
Kimmy Thompson on the serve for USC. And Young delivers again. Young has put the last 2 points on the board for the Tigers. She's got 4 kills. She's hitting better than .333 now.
Fred, the difference in that last set when Clemson made the comeback was setting Hansen, getting Young involved in the offense. Nice job getting that going here in the second.
Good look at the libero, Devin Taylor. If it's into Johnson in the net, it's going to be very tough. I mean, they've got a couple of just terrific arms there. You got Johnson and you got Whitesides, and they have just both been doing the job tonight.
That's
now a 5-point lead.
A one-on-one opportunity, like in basketball, when you go drive against somebody, you go against a block. It's testing the discipline of the block setup, going right into the hands of Johnson to get that kill.
She's got 10 now, so he reaches double figures. Armbruster setting up. But South Carolina keeps it alive, and then Whiteside's confrontation at the net point. Clemson, wow. There's Kate Hansen again.
Hansen coming all the way over on the close. I thought it was a beautiful bump set. Hansen just got over with the read. Yoki on the right side getting the set up. Nice orange wall putting up.
Hansen's first block brings Clemson back within 4. Yoki to serve. That time it's Whitesides. That time she won that battle at the net.
You're seeing that matchup. You have Armbruster, the setter for Clemson, matched up currently for 2 more rotations with Whitesides. I'm thinking the lot of balls for South Carolina will continue to set Whitesides for that matchup.
Gamecocks have a 5-point edge now. USC hitting .314 to .256 for Clemson.
We saw in this last rotation, the slide attack's been working. It gives a one-on-one opportunity for Hansen. If Clemson can get a pass, I say go slide.
Anati will put it in play. Whiteside's nearly found the opening. Now it's a real battle at the net.
Yeah.
South Carolina will set it up that time, and the swing and the point will go for Smith.
This call probably will be challenged. You saw Devin Taylor, the libero for Clemson, taking the ball with her hands, and then the next go-around, setter Armbruster on the second contact, jumped and sent it over. You have to stay on the ground if you're going to send a ball over when a libero takes the ball in front of a 10-foot line.
We've had a little bit of a flurry of reviews here since about the end of that marathon opening set. We're going to watch the whole sequence. Take us through this.
So this will be the first scramble that's going to go over. Watch Devin Taylor taking with her hands. Armbruster takes it into a jump, sends it over. That's a violation, because if a libero takes it with her hands in front of the 10-foot line, the next person that has either keeps it on their side for the second contact but you cannot jump and send it over. You must stay on the ground. So right away, the assistant coach jumped up. I threw up my hands like, that's a violation, and anybody else gonna call it? Looking around, the assistant coach was all over that call.
Again, the libero, number 16 in white, Devin Taylor.
And watch the jump. That was the difference. If Armbruster would just stayed on the ground, it would have been fine on the send over. But when you take it to a jump, it's a violation, because once the libero came into the volleyball world, you just didn't want to run your setter as a libero in that back row position. So they implemented that rule. So it wouldn't be an advantage to have a setter coming out of left back to always have 6 attackers. You'd have to run a 6-2 to use your subs, if that makes sense.
It makes sense, and it's a point for South Carolina. And our head official and all of our game officials, they are really getting to know each other pretty well here over the past 15 minutes. They've had lots of visits with several reviews. So there's a point for South Carolina, and it's now 17-11 Gamecocks, and this is kind of that danger area once again for Clemson, because 6 points, not insurmountable, but it's a pretty healthy lead when you're getting into the upper teens for South Carolina. Gamecocks up 17-11. Anati serving again. McGrath found a space in the defense to get it across.
Anati did her best in left back, but there was no question. You saw McGrath just really trying to test that left side of the court, trying to make the middle, who was serving, play that defensive ball.
And another mistake on the serve for the Tigers, and that has hurt them. That's now 9 errors for Clemson on the serve. The Gamecocks get the point back. It's now 18-12.
I thought it was pretty complimentary of Coach Mendoza, saying this is a Clemson team that's improved every level of their game throughout the year.
And doing it on the road until last night. Wagner with the swing, but South Carolina recovers. Wagner's effort misses, and it's another point for South Carolina. It's now 19-12.
Coach Mendoza leading into that said, this is a clean type of volleyball style that comes and plays, and this is what causing the long rallies when early on in years past they would go down quickly.
Wagner comes through that time with the point. But Clemson's going to need to get on a run here. That just gets it back, still a 6-point deficit.
A lot of times when an attacker goes up, you work one side of the court, but then you look to see, you have a second to see where your defense is setting up. She saw libero Harris sitting a little bit on the inside, decides to test the court, a nice shot to that corner.
Tigers to serve. Becca Miceli puts it in play. There's a big kill right in the middle of the floor by Ellie Ruprecht. She's now got 4 kills, and the Gamecocks have stretched out this lead to 7 at 20-13. Whitesides with the serve, and that goes long, and it's a point for the Tigers. 5th service error overall for South Carolina.
In this servicing pattern, it might be a good idea to get Ruprecht another ball. She only has 7 attempts throughout the match. Clemson, even on the last one, you might have said her, but they're still not thinking she's an offensive threat. A good time if South Carolina can get a pass.
Great dive in the back by Armbruster. And that point goes to Clemson. The victory that time for Yoki.
You saw that serve receive pattern, it went to Ruprecht, but now you use it as a decoy. Send Ruprecht away and see if you can get Paris a ball on the right side.
20-15 Gamecocks, 21-15 Gamecocks as Armbruster committing Clemson. Now that is 10 service aces in this match, and you just can't have that many and be -5 in that category against a team like USC. Victoria Harris to serve. Johnson. Tigers keep it going. Johnson again. And she finds the spot for her 11th kill. And the Gamecocks stretch this out now to a 7-point advantage here in set 2.
Fred, how impressive is Harris? Getting the digs, working shots, telling her hitters where to hit. I'm loving the libero spot that Harris is stepping into as a freshman.
This is a good USC team. Both offenses a little out of sync here, and it finally comes through. You can celebrate if you're Campbell Paris, as she put it, where the Tigers defense couldn't get to it, and now South Carolina within 2 points of going up by a couple of sets. Harris will continue to serve.
Nice.
Kennedy Wagner gets the point to slow things down at least a little bit.
That's remembering your last set strategy, knowing that up the gut in that middle attack, you're finding kills. Wagner coming right through, testing the discipline of the penetration of the block, wins it with power.
Wagner up to double figures now with 10 kills. But a big swing again, and it's Campbell Paris.
You saw, Fred, that's exactly what South Carolina was waiting for. Using Anadi as a decoy, going back to Paris right there. This is how you work the accordion game of setting. Work one side, spread it out, bring it right back.
Multiple set points now for South Carolina. And the block at the net, and it goes to the Gamecocks, and just like that, after a marathon opening set, and set 3 is underway. And the first point of the set goes to Clemson as the swing goes long for South Carolina.
You got to be a better actress than that a little bit. You saw Luma totally do a dodgeball and looked over at the bench like guilty face. So Coach Mendoza saw it. I'm going to be interested to see if he uses the challenge card.
Swing was by Abi Anadi. So Coach Mendoza will just stand hands on hips. 1-0 Tigers. Here to start set 3. Johnson gets the point right back. Elena Johnson now with a dozen kills. She's hitting better than 300 in this match.
Yoki irritated with her setup on that block, just looking at her hands like, oh, I had the read. I just didn't get all the way over on that line shot.
Caught her right hand. Armbruster setting up Indigo Young, but the whistle is going to appear to give the point to South Carolina.
In this situation, the call has to be a carry. It cannot be a double because you're allowed to do a double contact as long as it's not going over to the net. So it can be on your first and second contact. So the call was called a carry out of the hands of Armbruster.
So it's 2-1 Gamecocks. Johnson serves. So, Mia McGrath comes through with one of the best points of the night. That was a real scramble. She gets it across, and there were no Gamecocks home.
The hand saved by Armbruster up the line, and then ready at the net on the send over is McGrath.
Great reaction by McGrath, who now she reaches 10 kills on the night. One of the diving Gamecocks leaving a little perspiration on the floor, so another quick cleanup. In all fairness, with all these people in here, it is warm in Jervey. I can tell you that. Plus all the energy. Big swing, and it's another point for South Carolina. That's Tyra Smith. Smith's got 4 kills now.
Smith recognized that setter Armbruster was playing right back, so she's not going to shift toward that corner perfecting the spot on her attack. Nice swing, Smith.
And it's a kill for Clemson. They come right back. That's Yoki coming through.
And you saw Rubrick needing to hold in the middle, thinking the ball might go outside to McGrath. That little hold created the seam. Yoki saw it, took advantage.
She's got 8 kills now. She's hitting better than 400 on the night. And now she'll go back and serve. She leads Clemson and all ACC freshmen coming into the week in aces. But South Carolina gets the point right back. Kind of trading points right now as USC gets a point from Tyra Smith.
Pretty smart. You saw her take a deep corner shot on the previous swing, and now she's working the court. Went a little more back to the middle of the court because she saw Luma shift to her right in middle back.
South Carolina hit 507 on Tuesday night against ECU in a sweep. Right now they are 325 tonight.
I think Clemson needs to get the middle Hansen involved. That's what came back in this set. That slide attack looking nice. We didn't see it at all in that second set.
Here's Sydney Floyd from Manhattan Beach, California.
Boom.
Big swing delivers for the Tigers. That is Kate Hansen coming through. Hansen has 7 kills now.
You see it's off the slide attack. Clemson knows they need it. Nice to see it come alive in this third set. Set on purpose, a little inside for that rip.
McGrath serve. Sets up Kennedy Wagner. Good dig by Harris. Wagner again. And that's going to be a point for Clemson as the effort by Campbell Paris goes long.
Devin Taylor coming in and making that a huge save with the close hand fist to keep the rally alive.
Clemson goes up 5-4 now here in set 3. Gamecocks took the first 2, including a 34-32 marathon opener. Whiteside celebrating as Clemson's effort goes out of bounds, hits the purple.
Whiteside saw the moving middle blocker close on that. Hansen was moving, so that created that angle, and Whiteside just let it play out, allowed the ball to continue out of bounds.
Whitesides now has a double-double. She's got 10 kills and 10 digs. Nice job by Hansen. She finds a spot where there were no Gamecocks home, 6-5.
That's a moment of, there you go, Clemson, the slide attack. Hansen's been on fire this match. Nice to see the change-up shot. Everybody was sitting up in for the hard shot. Hansen decides to take it deep for the tip.
Johnson's swing goes in for the point. Looked like went off one of the Tigers. It evens things up at 6. At least I thought we got, Clemson's got the, you can see Maselli has the ball in her hand. The official pointed towards South Carolina.
Possible net violation is the only thing I can imagine on this. Even a touch, and you see Armbruster denying it completely to her coach, like, Coach, I didn't touch it.
So the discussion continues. Now it's, take a look.
To me, that ball looked like it went over the block on this angle, not touching any part of the hands. I think a touch was called.
It looks like this is going to stand because we now have Victoria Harris. She's holding the ball, ready to serve. McGrath goes over and talks to the official who's up in the higher chair.
Fred, her green notebook is faking me out. It's like a big green card, using it as a threat.
Gigantor green card.
Right. That's a good color to rock right there, Coach.
So it will be South Carolina point. They will serve with a count 6-6. All the officials wearing orange disagree, not surprisingly. Big swing by Wagner, but it's a point for South Carolina.
Wagner looking hard to avoid the block, but if you remember the last middle attack that she took, it's a two attack. It's an up and down ball in the middle. She went straight power into the block to test it. Not a bad idea if you get it again.
7-6 Gamecocks. Johnson again, but Taylor with a great effort.
Come on, Taylor.
Yep, Devin Taylor. She's been under attack by Johnson for the last couple of swings.
Ooh.
Excellent rally here. Finally, a battle at the net. The Tigers finally get that point across. You can see the celebration there by Indigo Young.
You saw Devin Taylor make two amazing digs. Mia Grath picks up another. Yoki sends the ball, took the setter out on her attempt to cause that extra rally. Nice job, team fight to pull off that point.
7-all here in the third. Back-to-back points for Clemson. Once again, there is Indigo Young right in the middle of the action.
And notice, Fred, that it started with a middle attack. You got momentum back on your side. Players feel confident that there's more offense at different parts of the court. Clemson feeling good.
But there's another service error for the Tigers, that one by Armbruster. They've got 11 in this contest, and they've given up. They're -6 in that category compared to South Carolina, who only has 5. And that ties things up again at 8. Kimmy Thompson, she's from Simpsonville, nearby. She puts it into play for the Gamecocks, and she makes an error, so we've seen it go back-to-back here.
It's gonna take energy. You saw Young jump up and down like, guys, we're gonna do this. You have to be locked in. As you see South Carolina really trying to figure out their offense in this rotation.
Wagner serving at 9-8 Tigers. And now we have seen 3 in a row. I've got a hat trick.
Boom, boom, straight to the heart right there. Clemson just needs some sort of rotation to push points on the service game, because you're giving South Carolina a break, while Whitesides is now back in your front row. For South Carolina, this is your strongest front row presence.
9-9. Elizabeth McElveen from Rock Hill serves for USC. Beautiful shot there. Yoki just found a perfect spot, got it through all those arms, and dropped it into the corner.
That's one player you're thinking your middle hold. You saw Anadi take a step to her right. That caused the seam. Finding that perfect spot, going to the deep corners, Yoki.
10-9 Clemson here in the third. Whistle's going to give the point to Clemson off of the effort by Tyra Smith.
To send the ball over, Smith took that toward her midline and then crossed her shoulders. Just too much time with the ball in her hand, so it's considered a carry.
And that gives Clemson now a 11-9 edge. Whitesides, when they need one, you go her way. Riley Whitesides now with 11 kills in the match.
Out of system, in system, it doesn't matter. Whiteside just says, show me a block, and saw the hand jump in for the cross-court shot. Last second, turned it line to get the tool.
Yoki again. Yoki throws it down, but it's going to be a point's going to actually. It looked like a Clemson point, but then our chair umpire indicated it's going to go to South Carolina.
The way Yoki dropped her arms, I think it was a little deceptive of like a carry, but it popped out of her hand. Her just arm continued down. The referee thought it was a carry.
It ties it at 11. There's no doubt about it that time. That's Kate Hansen. She's got 9 kills now, and Clemson goes back up 12-11.
This is what you have to do, show that you can find offense on the right side. Apart from Yoki, when she's taking her back row reps, 9 kills, hitting .333 is Hansen.
Here's a look at Yoki, the freshman from Finland. And that's going to even things up again. 12-12 and 13 service errors now for Clemson.
You know, that's one thing about tennis. When you have your first serve and second serve, you have to like learn, do I go for it now, do I not? But when you have to go against a strong team in the SEC, South Carolina's tough, Clemson, both teams know you got to go for it.
We've only had 3 aces between the two teams combined. Great dig by Harris. Whitesides.
Come on.
Point South Carolina. Riley Whitesides, give her a dozen now.
Okay, Victoria Harris. We asked Coach Mendoza, is she ready for SEC play? You know, preseason he goes, she is special. She is ready for any level. We actually have to hold her back from injury, running to get every ball. She is raised in the volleyball game, and you're seeing that high-level play from only a freshman in the libero spot, touching the ball 4 times in that rally.
She entered USC back in the spring. She had a knee injury. She came to rehab that, and again, she has contributed right away. You said freshman. I had to double check my notes again because she hasn't played like it.
Exactly.
That time, Hansen's effort goes out of bounds. And the Gamecocks, looking to close this thing out, go up by 2.
Your offense is McGrath if you're not going to. Oh, you'll take a miss, sir, right, Fred?
Absolutely. Don't come back the other way. That draws Clemson back within 1 at 14-13. 7 service errors now for South Carolina. Wagner comes through. She takes the team lead tonight with 11 kills.
You saw Simpson Kier jump off the bench saying, get that touch right there, and it was called. Wagner taking that nice high swing, intentionally going off the hands. Oh, come on.
Whitesides answers.
Let's take a moment, Fred, and appreciate that brilliance. Cross-court body, hitting that line shot, very deceptive.
15-14. South Carolina up on Clemson here in the third. Set, South Carolina winning 34-32. That's the highest scoring set in a Clemson set since September 20th, 2013. That's right. 2013, September 20, 11 years ago to the day. That was when Clemson beat Alabama in a 38-36 fourth set. It's also the highest scoring set in the history of the Clemson USC series. Was there maybe a bit of a hangover for Clemson because that's just so competitive? I talk about that second set as we battle here in the third.
That takes a lot of momentum out of you on both sides of the court. And I actually feel like that first set was almost a whole match. How much energy was in that set?
Yeah, it was a huge win for the Gamecocks. They came up, took set 2, but right now they've got a 15-14 lead here in the third. It is really tough getting past that Gamecock front line. Another good rally. Taylor with the dig. They set up McGrath from the middle, but the Gamecocks respond. Best rally of this set. Woo. Wagner finally. That's an epic point to tie things up at making it 15-all.
You just saw a deep breath across the board from both sides. What a long rally, and then ended up showing cross court, taking it line, turning her entire body right down the line at the setter.
Wagner with a dozen kills to lead the Tigers. And then Clemson comes right back with a service error. That's just a big ouch. They've got twice as many as the Gamecocks now at 14-7. More importantly, it's 16-15 USC here in set 3.
Yeah, that definitely hurts. You saw Clemson win some big rallies and then go back with the missed serve. They cut down on that. They're right in this match.
Harris, the freshman, serves it. There's Kennedy Wagner, no doubt about it that time.
Talking to Coach Kier, what about Kennedy Wagner earned the starting role? She said she's always been ready. We just had to mix players around. We're so deep this year. Wagner earning that starting position, coming into the game yesterday, really pulling off 9 kills, showing her power today.
Yeah, again, she was outstanding as a freshman and has really worked her way back into the lineup now. 16-all. Beautiful job by Indigo Young to put Clemson back in front.
So fast off the ground. Indigo Young is always ready in transition. She took this one with her left. It was a little overset, but just ready. That's what she is. Nice job showing up for your team.
She's got 5 kills. She's hitting 385 on the night. That one just got over. McGrath from the middle, and it's a point for South Carolina.
Yoki did a good job on the right side of that block just to get the touch, went all the way over to the line. And I thought the positioning was good, but just taking it with a little purple on the bounce.
Yep.
From our view, it looked out live.
And it did. That replay you saw, great view of it there. So we're tied again at 17. Point for the Tigers, though. Gamecocks trying to keep that ball alive. We went out of bounds. The effort by Tyra Smith, who's had a good night.
You got to get your middles going or right side. Right now, the Clemson block is camping on Johnson on the outside.
18-17 Clemson. Great one-handed dive by Taylor on the dig. And the Gamecocks finally run out of ways to try to keep that one going, and it's a point for the Tigers. There's Mia McGrath.
Just take for a moment, Fred, that you take probably a third of those errors away. I hate talking about errors because, you know, you play under so many coaches your whole career. The coaches that talk the most about errors, you feel more tight when you play. But so you don't really want to talk about it, but that's something that we can talk about because we're not in the gym. Saying if you take a third away, you're winning those at least the 2 sets. You got to keep the rally going and keep the momentum on your side by just taking care of the first ball contact and then just shots a little more precision.
Had another delay there as they cleaned up some perspiration, and now a timeout is being taken with Clemson leading 19-17 here in set number 3. Gamecocks took the first 2. You know, we had a conversation with Tom Mendoza day before yesterday. He said something, I don't know how this will go with the diehard fan in all of this. He said that these in-state rivalries are unique. He said these two coaching staffs get along extremely well. And I was really surprised to hear a South Carolina or a Clemson coach, but it was a South Carolina coach in this case, say, we root for Clemson every game except one.
I love that.
I thought that was really interesting.
That just shows his character, and then Coach Keir's the same, really trying to build South Carolina volleyball from the inside out, trying to build up what you see a lot of club players here today, high school and middle school players, creating role models. You build it strong within the state, good things will happen in your program in years to come.
One of the things he also talked about was coming into this building and seeing this brand new facility that still is not 100% done. And he was actually saying it's just good for the sport to see Clemson investing in the sport of volleyball. And I'm looking around tonight, and I know a lot of people are here because, once again, they want to see South Carolina play Clemson in anything. But I think you're going to get a lot of these people to come back.
Oh, 100%.
Just for what they've seen.
Like such good volleyball that you're seeing today. Of course, you're going to want to come back.
Yeah. Just take a look right there, that big orange kind of box right there. That's where that new club suite will be. So that'll just be another prime viewing area. That's scheduled to open next year as they continue to do a ton of work here just on the south end of Jervey Gym. So coming out of the timeout, it's Clemson serving with Wagner. Tigers up 19-17 here in set number 3. Yep. Look at that enthusiasm. That is Young, that is Yoki, and Clemson now has a 3-point edge as they get to 20.
You see the low set. That was a good read by Young to come all the way over. Yoki, what a great block setup she's providing for Clemson.
Armbruster setting up McGrath.
Oh,
Whiteside's down the middle. I mean, with all these fans and all the noise they're making, the loudest sound in the gym absolutely was Whiteside's just crushing that one.
That's some want-to on the swings right there by Whitesides. Whiteside's like, I will put the team on my back, keep giving me the ball as she makes her move to the front row. Good rotations here for South Carolina.
20-18 is the count. Whiteside's now with 14 kills. That leads both teams, and there's a good look at Johnson, who will put it in play.
Fred in this service-y pattern, the ball's been going to the right side. Yoki in a one-on-one situation.
They set it up that way. Whitesides from the other way comes back-to-back, and the Gamecocks draw back within one at 20-19.
High fives all around. That started with a great dig. Whiteside has the hot hand in the swing, but you got to put a team effort around to get any type of transition ball back.
And we got a timeout that's going to be taken here by Clemson, as the Tigers, who moments ago were up by 3, have seen that advantage slip down to 1, and Jackie Simpson-Keir wants to see if they can break a little bit of that momentum coming in here.
What a comeback. I thought Clemson, with the momentum, was going to take it. Whiteside's back row attack really stomped on any type of takeover that you're seeing Clemson doing.
Yeah, Whitesides has had a terrific night. She's got 15 kills. She's got 13 digs for the double-double, hitting .343 overall. So she's been tremendous. As you take a look at the grad student who played at Malden High School, just on the south side of Greenville, also plays for the Gamecock beach volleyball team. And she's been terrific. Again, we had that epic opening set. Gamecocks stretched it out 25-16 to take set 2, and right now we've gone back and forth here in set 3 with the Tigers still up by 1.
In this service-y pattern, Yoki's on your right side, you have McGrath on the outside, and then Young in the middle. Probably in transition, you would set Young, but not in the service-y pattern. It all depends the pass. I'm probably still going Yoki on my right side, needing a kill. And then the transition ball, there's no question, you get anything close, Whitesides will be getting the set.
Whitesides has 15 kills for South Carolina. Johnson has 13. Tigers have 13 for Kennedy Wagner. McGrath and Yoki have 10 apiece, and Kate Hansen has 9. Elena Johnson serving. 20-19 Clemson here in the third. Johnson's able to handle Yoki's swing. Ooh. And somehow Whiteside's got that one past about 3 or 4 of the Tigers to knot things up again.
Coach Mendoza said the part of the sand volleyball game that's improved and helped her indoor game is not panicking in any situation, being able to take care of the ball and find a way. Whiteside's doing it for her team.
Off 2 Tigers and a diving third. Yoki comes through that time to give Clemson back the lead.
That's a side-out pattern Clemson was looking for. Yoki on the right side. She's been automatic finding that deep corner ball. Hey, Fred, where are you going? Looking across. Are you going to Whitesides out here? I'd be setting her.
And she's been able to provide a lot of answers so far for South Carolina. There she is. Taylor handles it. It goes all the way toward the Clemson bench. Armbruster keeps it alive, and there's Hansen. This time it was right in the middle of the floor for the Gamecocks to tie things up again. Anadi.
Only her 6th attempt throughout this entire match. What a perfect time to use it. Nice job on that delivery.
And she'll serve now after tying things up at 21. Yoki with the kill. Back and forth, we were just trading that lead, 22-21 Clemson.
And you see Yoki going right at the middle. Anadi on that defense around. Because South Carolina is in 6-2 rotation, you're using a lot of subs because that would have been a good time to use the serving sub. Gosh, what?
Whiteside's got Keeley to stand up. So you know that was something.
Fred, I mean, I've been a fan of Whiteside since she's been in the program, watching her throughout the years, calling different matches. But this is how you put your whole team on your back. Look no further, giving her the ball. Whiteside says, I'm going to do this, guys. We're all here in it together, but let me go ahead and finish it.
22 is the score.
You're going slide attack with Hansen. Fred, what did you do right here? This situation, you got McGrath and Hansen. I'm going Hansen on the slide.
Floyd with the serve. There is Hansen. Whiteside. Point Clemson. She sailed it that time. And Clemson now has some set points coming up.
Great job.
Correction. Excuse me, I jumped ahead too far. Still a 1-point lead.
I mean, the way the first set went, I'm like, what do we play till now?
Whitesides, of course. We could be having another one of those epics coming, because now it's seeing either team trying to string together back-to-back points the way this match has been going. We could be here a while.
18 kills, hitting 341. Whiteside's now at the service line.
There's the setup for Johnson. Johnson with a shot that McGrath couldn't handle, and now you got match point South Carolina. And it's a good time for Clemson to take a timeout here with the Gamecocks 1 point away from trying to wrap this thing up.
Whiteside's making the dig, the dish delivery. Smith outside to her Johnson. Nice job on that kill.
Whitesides and Johnson have really carried the load. 18 kills for Whitesides. She's hitting 341. Johnson has 14. She's hitting 268.
You know, we would have seen a different offense if setter Sarah Jordan was healthy throughout the match. We saw her go down with a lower body injury because normally it's a much more balanced offense. But when you have players like Whitesides and Johnson, knowing that probably the middle setter connection takes time to develop and maybe it won't be as clean as it will be to come, you're going to see Whiteside and Johnson do the takeover.
For South Carolina, this will be the match that will end the non-conference season. They will jump right into the SEC, and you can see what the Gamecocks have ahead, and they've got a couple of tough games on the road, actually 3 in a row on the road that look tough. At Texas, at Georgia, at Florida, 2 of those teams ranked. Of course, they'll get to go back home a week from tonight to play Mississippi State before going through that road swing.
2 of the toughest conferences representing. So you have SEC play, your Georgia Tech playing up the road right now as well. Just tough games throughout. No easy match. You're going to face ranking or no ranking. Coach Mendoza knows what he's facing, trying to get everybody ready because at any given point an injury can happen. You got to throw players, and every player's got to be ready.
So here we go. At match point for South Carolina. 24-23 is the lead. Riley Whitesides will serve. Wagner. Johnson from the right side, a diving Taylor keeps it alive. Wagner gets blocked at the net, and what a way to end it for the Gamecocks. The rejection done by Ellie Ruprecht, and South Carolina wins this Palmetto Series matchup. They sweep Clemson, but 2 of those 3 sets were absolute